This is a good number, better than expected. You said it was going to blow away 200,000. You were right, Charles.
You know what? I got almost everything right except for the U6 number. But I got to tell you, goods producing jobs, guys. If we're talking about the heartland of America, manufacturing 31,000, construction 24,000. Also the retail story. I was talking about cons, but Macy's, that stock is up 32% since early November.
Wow.
They're hiring 7,000 holiday workers. So even the brick and mortar story is not completely dead. There's a revival going on in this country, and we just saw a piece of it in this jobs report.
You have to be impressed by this, Joni Courtney.
I am, and I am glad to see that professional and business services was 46,000 jobs. We just talked about the quality of jobs. This is the sector that you will see some of the higher level positions. You won't see it in the wage number in this report because this report is just the hourly wages, and most of those positions are salaried. But I can tell you from the front lines, we are seeing wages move on salaried positions because the market is so tight. So I think overall this is a really great report. Would have liked to have seen wages a little bit higher, but great to see the growth in manufacturing and construction. That's really strong, and to Charles' point of being the heartland of the country, couldn't agree more.
October was revised slightly lower, Brian Bremberg, but this is the 86th straight month of job growth.
Yeah, no, this is a good story. It's been a good story for a while. It continues to be a good story. Wages, I'm disappointed there. I'm sorry, but that number continues to disappoint.
Well, it's up 2.5%.
It's up 2.5%,
all right.
but that's all
You're
right.
It's not. We wanted 2.8%.
Look how much our expectations have changed that we're talking about 2.5% as good. I think this makes it easier for the Fed. The 4.1% number, I don't think this is going to change the Fed's moves from in next year. John was talking about will it go to 4 moves instead of 3. I think it's still 3 with this number, so that's probably going to be good news for the market.
Dagan McDowell, what are you looking at?
This is overall an economy that is on a rock-solid footing going into the new year, and it can only be helped by a tax reform package that gives an incentive to businesses in this country, large and small, to keep on hiring. But that, to Charles's point, 2.5% wage gains year over year. It could be better, but again, it's not worsening there. You saw the really strong job creation in really kind of the heartland of this economy, manufacturing and construction. With manufacturing, came in almost double the number of jobs created there, 31,000 that economists were expecting.
How about services?
It's very hard to find anything negative in this report, anything whatsoever.
What's with the information jobs down 4,000? I don't know. Information jobs down 4,000. We'll see what that is. The wage gains, not what you wanted. John Hilsenrath, up 0.2%. Average hourly earnings.
Well, like I said before, when you adjust wages for inflation, they're actually not that bad. Real earnings are rising. People have money in their pockets to spend. I think we have to call this report what it is. This is a Goldilocks number.
Yeah.
More than 200,000 on payrolls is really good. An unemployment rate near 4% is really good. Real wages are rising. The Fed isn't going to get too upset about this and jack up interest rates a lot faster than people expected. As Dagan said, this is an economy on rock-solid footing. It's running really well, not too hot, not too cold. And 86 straight months of job gains.
Yep.
This really, I'm not seeing much to complain about.
I love it. I love it. Lisa Erickson, markets are moving on this number. Now we're looking at a gain of about 60 points on the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Markets are clearly reacting to this. Would you put new money to work here in equities? Are you telling clients to do just that?
Well, we are overweight, actually, in equities, and we believe both U.S. markets as well as non-U.S. developed markets are positive. And I think the reason you're seeing those markets react is, as all the other folks have said, it really is just a very nice number. And so what you've got is strength in the economy, as shown by the underlying good gains continued in the non-farm payrolls. And while that inflation number came in not quite as high as some of us would have liked, it still isn't a very solid footing. It's remained in the 2 to 2.5% range for quite some time. Came in at 2.5% today. I think that's good. And if the labor market continues to be strong as it is, then we'll eventually see that move up a little bit more.
Okay, let's talk about where the jobs are, Joni Courtney. And every jobs number, I ask you where sectors. I also want to ask you about geographies. Here we are talking about this tax plan. And perhaps an exodus out of the high tax states. Where in the country are the job states?
You know, the biggest need right now we see certainly is in the South and the Southwest. Those are probably some of the strongest areas for demand and growth. To be real specific, the Phoenix market is extremely strong. Texas has tremendous amounts of job openings in all sectors, all industries. Charlotte is a great market. We're seeing people moving to Charlotte, a lot of millennials kind of migrating to Charlotte because there's a lot of new jobs, great economy, a tremendous amount of growth. And, you know, Atlanta continues to be a very strong market as well. When you look at the Northeast, there's a strong demand for financial jobs coming back, professional jobs in New York.
Look at services providing. Services up 159,000 last month.
Strong. So more of the skilled, high-level positions coming back. But then construction, great to see construction coming back. And I will mention, obviously, I come from the temporary staffing industry. Those jobs have been continuing to grow. This month, 18,000 of the jobs created were in temporary staffing. That continues to be a very strong area. I know personally our business, you know, is really ending the year strong, very strong from a demand from our customers. So sometimes people don't like those jobs, but those jobs provide great opportunities for Americans every single day.
Joni, isn't that historically a harbinger of things to come? No, companies first hire temp, then they feel more comfortable and they make them permanent?
Absolutely, Charles. I think when there's uncertainty with what's going to happen with tax reform, companies may decide, you know, I'll use temporaries right now and then maybe in the new year I'll convert them to permanent jobs. It gives employers flexibility in their workforce. And you know, when they feel a little bit more confident, they may convert those jobs.
Nice market reaction here, Jack Otter, up 70 points right now.
I think John hit the nail on the head by pointing out that this is the Goldilocks number because it's not quite good enough that we have to fear, say, 4 interest rate hikes next week. I think one thread that runs through a lot of these numbers is the G word, globalization. Part of the reason we haven't seen inflation creep up is because other countries, other nations, China particularly, are kind of exporting deflationary forces to us. Dagan mentioned the 10-year bond at 2.37. That is an enormous interest rate when you compare it to, say, Europe or Japan. So investors over there who want safe fixed income are buying U.S. bonds and keeping a lid on rates here. That's also keeping a lid on wages. Because we are in a global economy and the reality is you can get cheaper labor overseas, it's just tough for American workers. So the 2.5% is okay, but we'd like to see that go up, of course. I'm not sure what lever to pull to do that. You know, the tax break might get companies to hire more, but on the other hand, they've been sitting on a lot of cash for a long time and they haven't hired, so we need to find a way to spike demand. Not to be Debbie Downer, this is a very good report.